Smooth 98.1. Here we are, gone past 6:30, and it is time for Business Express. I'm Shakwa Martins. This is Smooth Breakfast, and for the next 15 minutes, it's all about what's happening in the world of business with Rotus joining me. Good morning.
Good morning, Shakwa. Good morning to all our viewers and listeners. Great to be with you all on Tuesday, and welcome to our special guest from Nairametrics.
Yes, you can see him or you can listen to him, wherever it is that you're tuning in from. This is Samuel Oyekomi, who's a macroeconomics analyst with Nairametrics. Hi, Samuel. How are you doing? Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm very fine. How are you too?
Fantastic. Excited to get this show on the road. Now, of course, today being Tuesday, Business Express is brought to you by Nairametrics. And we've got some really interesting information for you and a little bit of an offer that you can get to at the end of the show. So keep it tuned. Now, we've got a lot that we're going to be talking about. But first of all, can we touch on Nigeria ordering Twitter, TikTok, Google, Instagram, and others to appoint country reps? I mean, what's going on here? Because we've kind of seen this happening with Twitter before, right? So does the federal government of Nigeria have a case at all asking all of these platforms to appoint country representatives?
Well, when you look at the issue that has been brewing when it comes to social media and Nigerian government over time, since last year, 2 years ago, you would understand where the government is coming from, asking for country reps of these social media platforms in Nigeria. I hope you can hear me clearly. Yeah, so that will give you an insight to understand why they would be requesting for something like this. The fact that they had to face some form of ban from one of those social media for a while, and they had to come to a round table. And this is partly one of the agreements between the Nigerian government and the social media handle for them to begin to operate further again in Nigeria. And that is why this is happening. From a bystander, an outsider, it really does not speak so well or make so much sense, especially when you consider the fact that this is a platform that is domiciled in some other country. And the social media or internet is something that anyone and everyone should be able to partake in and operate on from wherever in the world. But it's just a case of Nigerians trying to buy their way out of the situation that happened the last time, and they don't want a reoccurrence. They want to have a clip on some of the social handles so they can be able to manage, if I'll put it that way. They don't want a situation that happened in China or the one that happened with Donald Trump in the US, and a reoccurrence of Nigeria Twitter ban or Facebook ban again. And that's also what is happening. And it's also an opportunity to also increase our revenue at the end of the day. If they are paying tax to us, well and good. Nigeria wants to make small money from non-oil revenue, and that's just what it's playing out.
And just to give a background, there's a tweet from NITDA, which is the National Information Technology Development Agency. So what happens is they've disclosed that what they're calling interactive computer service platforms and internet intermediaries are required to fulfill certain conditions in running their services in Nigeria. So that's what's led to this. And they've released like a code of practice for interactive computer service platforms, a draft bill. They've actually tweeted it out. If anyone's interested in going on Twitter and taking a look at that tweet, you'll see the draft there. So that's essentially what this is about. So I think it's NITDA Nigeria. Yeah, if you're on Twitter, it's NITDA Nigeria. And they put out this press release yesterday with respect to code of practice, which is why they're requiring Instagram, Twitter, whoever, to get country reps in order to do this.
Quick, I want your questions. I want your comments. Right? What do you think about this? What questions are coming up for you? Make sure you jump on the live stream and send your comments in on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos, or send WhatsApp messages in to 0809 444 981. I'm also staring at our Twitter handle right now and our notifications panel. So tag us in your tweets at smooth981FM. Questions, Rotus. What else?
Yeah. What I was going to ask was like, what if every country in the world asked for social media companies to provide a country rep? How practical is this? I don't know, Sam, what you think?
Of course, Rotus, it's not really practical. If every country should ask that, that would definitely push up the operating cost of these companies, and you'd probably be stylishly running them down. But then Nigeria is a very big market for most of these social media handles, and that's why you see them making this kind of request. However bogus it might sound to us, there's a big market in Nigeria. As far as Africa is concerned, Nigeria is a very, very important strategic place where most of the social media make a lot of revenue come from in Nigeria. When you look at the TikTok financials, talk about Facebook and Twitter, there are a lot of users that come from Nigeria, and that's why they just cannot let go of Nigerian market. So Nigeria can really hold them to ransom by making this request. And then if they lose Nigerian market, the chances are it's going to affect their other neighboring market, the likes of Ghana, South Africa also could also be affected, because at the end of the day, Nigeria is a very, very, very big market, a very influential market in the African scene.
Ultimately, what do you think overall? Are social media companies responsible for content on their platforms?
Of course, they are not, but there's a level of gatekeeping now when it comes to social media content. Facebook has a way of they have algorithms whereby there are some things you're going to say, especially after the riots that cost a lot of lives in the US about 2 years ago, during Donald Trump's administration, or 3 years ago now. There's been some algorithms. Exactly. There's some text or video contents that cannot really go on some social media handle. But then when you go back again and look at the whole Twitter purchase that's still going on with Elon Musk and the whole free speech thing, if that plays out, Twitter might not really have, might be going back to the time where there's really no gatekeeping, there's no checkmating what is going on the social media handle. And if that's the case, well, people we probably do not have power anymore. But then as of this moment, whatever you put on there, there's somewhat an algorithm that monitor the type of text or the type of video that is being posted. And if such is found to be against the rule or best practice or code of conduct, they just put it down. It's there. But then I still believe the social media guys, they will stay, because Nigerian market is still quite big. I would have expected them last year or 2 years ago to not have stayed, to have told the government bluff and say, okay, stay, we're not coming anymore. But then they did come back, and it means it shows, it's telling the government that, oh, these guys feel we're important, and then they will keep coming no matter what we ask. So I think they will definitely be compliant with this.
Interesting.
Okay, we have this message in from Gbenga Akomu, who says those social media platforms can have country reps plenipotentiary for countries close to each other.
Interesting. Yeah, right. That's very true. Sense. Yeah. I want to quickly move to the Central Bank of Nigeria and this report they put out, the Ways and Means facility, where they lend money to the government, right? So I think, 19 trillion naira as at April of this year. Samuel, should we be alarmed? I think it went from, it grew from about 7 or so from the previous 17 trillion as at the end of 2021 to 19 trillion. Should we be alarmed about this facility that the central bank is extending to the federal government?
Well, I think if we were to be alarmed, we should be alarmed like, let's say 2, 3, 4 years ago. Right now, I think we're even getting used to when it comes to loans and debt stock. So when you look at numbers from DMO, you see Nigeria's debt has risen over 41 trillion naira as of March 2022. Our cost to debt GDP, our debt to GDP ratio is around 23.3%. That's the highest in record time, if you go through the trend. And of course, although the DMO is telling us that, oh, okay, this number is still lower than the self-imposed 40% that the DMO or the Ministry of Finance have stated for themselves. But we are seeing this number growing significantly. So our debts our loan is growing astronomically, and our economy is not growing in that proportion. Our population is growing astronomically. The economy is also not showing that same movement. We should have been alarmed before now. Right now, I think we're already used to that those numbers. When it comes to CBN loan, it's just a matter of printing more money. I have no problem with government even borrowing from CBN, because at the end of the day, what it just does is it increases liquidity, but the CBN also have monetary policies that helps them mop up this liquidity in the system. What I would be worried would have been the amounts that we are owing foreign economies, when we are owing bilaterals and multilaterals. That would have been a worry for me, because then we'll be paying with dollars that we do not even have in the first place. But this, at the end of the day, we pay with Naira. There's a government that is really, if there comes an administration someday that is really hoping and willing to clear out our debt, just like the time of Obasanjo's era, probably we'll be seeing such playing out, and we'll be able to clear that kind of loan. But I would not see so much problem when it comes to domestic debt.
All right, so we've got about a minute left before we get to that good news for Nairametrics. What else? What other questions do we have, Rotus?
Okay, Wahid Bello is asking about CBN's outstanding accounts. The last was 2018. I mean, yes or no, Samuel, we should get updated accounts on the CBN, yeah?
Sure, I agree with that. We should.
I agree as well. That's it, Shokwe.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Rotus, and thank you to our guest, Samuel Oyekomi. He's a macroeconomics analyst with Nairametrics, who has brought today's episode of Business Express to you. And so thank you for tuning in. And you need to follow Nairametrics on all social media platforms at Nairametrics. Okay, it's that easy, at Nairametrics. And also you get to subscribe to their premium newsletter, Stock Select newsletter, It's a weekly stock guide written by Godre on local and international best performing stocks to guide us, the investors, on what to buy, sell, and hold. And we are offering a 30% discount to all subscribers from Business Express. Hey, you get that Business Express goodies. So make sure you visit ssn.nairametrics.com/coupon. Let me say that again. SSN Sierra November .nairametrics.com/coupon and enter the promo code SmoothFM to get the discounts. If you forget it at any point, please go and tag them on tag us and tag them on Twitter at Nairametrics, at Smooth981FM. And of course, as usual, a big thank you to Rotus at Rotanquote up on Twitter. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, and Samuel, we'll see you once again at some point later on Business Express. Okay, that's all for the show.